But we want to go back, since we're changing sections, to remember that Matthew is a bridge. Matthew saw himself in picking up his genealogies as picking up at the end of the works of Ezra, as Chronicles ended, the genealogies of Chronicles ended the historical narrative of the Hebrew Bible. So Matthew, Levi, as a Jewish author who is presenting Jesus Christ as the Messiah, would give them this information. He saw himself as completing the story or continuing the story. He wanted to show Jewish people that Jesus is the Messiah, that Jesus fulfills prophecy. So we see him again and again, far and above the other gospel authors, highlighting the reality that everything that was intended and expected of the Messiah in the Old Testament is now seen in the person of Jesus Christ. But this is a special challenge. And it's a special challenge because the Jewish people expected the Messiah to come and bring the kingdom right now. They expected the kingdom to be here. So the very fact that the kingdom had not arrived, had not come, was proof to every Jewish person who had already rejected Jesus that he really wasn't the Messiah after all. And so Matthew has this incredibly difficult job of helping them understand the reason why Jesus didn't bring the kingdom was that Israel and the leadership of Israel rejected him. If they'd accepted him as Messiah, he had all the power and ability and right to bring the kingdom on the earth, and yet they had rejected their king, and thus were in a different period, a different time, a different part of God's plan that had been hidden in the past. And yet, even though the promise of the kingdom was in abeyance, that it was forestalled until a future time, a future generation, that what they needed to do now, even though they rejected Jesus Christ corporately, that they needed to accept him individually and become a part of the church, a part of this new thing that the Lord was doing. So essentially, Matthew works as a bridge between the testaments and also is explaining to the unbelieving Jewish peoples why the person, Jesus Christ, whom they'd rejected, was actually the king and why it was worth trusting in him even to this day.